want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay.
We hope you enjoy.
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here. And
I miss you too,
and I'm
Ernie.
really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. Tonight, it'll be the New Orleans Pelicans up against the New York Knicks. For the Knicks, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. And fellas, a new season about to begin. Clean slate. Plenty of hopes and dreams out there. Kenny, how do you spot a new legitimate contender?
I usually look for the team with good balance, where one guy isn't doing everything. One guy can facilitate everything, but he can't do everything. So offense, defense, balance, and they gotta have a big shot maker.
You know, I look for unselfishness, guys playing with each other, mental toughness. No weak-minded team has ever won a championship, Ernie.
How about continuity, too? How about very little changeover from a team that was really good the previous year, may not have gone as far as they wanted, but returning the same bunch?
That helps.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
No need to add anything to that.
Continuity. Yeah. Kevin Harlan knows all about that.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
This is Kevin Harlan alongside Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. The fans here in New Orleans ready to cheer on their Pelicans in this interconference matchup. This their first look at this year's New York squad. They controlled everything in both games last year, going 2-0.
An interconference matchup. They faced these guys twice a season, and last year they took both games.
And before we get underway here, let's check over with David Aldridge, who was able to talk with head coach Jeff Hornacek.
Well, Kevin, he said defensively their main priority is going to be preventing points in the paint. He told me we can't let them get comfortable inside. That's what'll hurt us. He wants them playing a very physical brand of D down low. See if they got the message. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Hey, getting some early returns on the season, Brent, for top teams that are already looking great. How early is too early to start thinking about things like home court advantage?
Well, it's kind of like Christmas, Kevin. It's never too early to start thinking about the home court advantage. You know, and a lot of veteran teams would tell you that they're not concerned about whether their game would travel come playoff time. But home court advantage is something that they would all like to have, trust me.
And so off the tip, it's New York. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Hardaway Jr. and Melo are the wings. Porzingis and Hernan Gomez are together down low. And it's Ntilikina in at the point guard position. Deep two from Hill. Ntilikina with the rebound.
Just like to see the defensive effort get better for their ball club. They can't expect guys to miss the mid-range Jays every time.
Here's Hill, and Hill throws it down.
How about the speed in the open floor from Solomon Hill? Looked like he was running downhill.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Here's Ntilikina. Pass to Porzingis. Fires the three. And Davis pulls it down.
Well, the defense better look up and say thanks. Leaving guys that wide open is not a recipe for success.
Here's Holiday. Carmelo Anthony comes up with the rebound.
Well, he had the perfect opportunity to finish that one, guys, and just flat out blew it.
Hardaway with a wide open look. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Hardaway has got himself on the board with 3 there.
Melo good at scanning the entire floor, and that's why that time he found the open teammate. And 1 for 5 is a tough way to start the game, Kevin. They got to get it going.
Fires from deep. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Now here's Hill, the fast break opportunity, and the shot goes in.
Defense maybe got away with a foul there, but AD too good for their best efforts with that shot.
The wide open look here for Porzingis. Good on the triple.
How on earth did they let him get that wide open?
And it's Davis with the jam.
Straight power, homie. I mean, he ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely a resounding dunk. New York's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Cousins pulls it in. For New Orleans, they've gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Rondo. A second chance effort, and Cousins with the lay-in.
Look, if there's no contact on Cousins, his percentage chances of grabbing that rebound go way up.
Outside Anthony, the 3. That's a no-go, and he's still looking for his first bucket after 2 shots. Pass to Cousins. Yep, that one goes in there. Cousins has got his second bucket of the night.
And defensively, this is a nightmare. He's already on a roll.
I love his will, his take-charge attitude, the aggressiveness, all of that showing up here in the first.
Rondo with the steal. And now it's Davis running. He can go all the way.
Phenomenal awareness by AD there, leaking out in transition, one of his best assets, and comes away with the basket.
Out to the wing. The 3 from Porzingis. It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella.
Out of bounds, Pelicans ball as New Orleans keeps possession.
Take a look at the Knicks over the last few seasons, Kevin, and they just haven't gotten anything going. Last year, they thought they were in a good spot with the additions of Rose and Noah, but the team just couldn't string anything together, had a myriad of problems, both on and off the floor.
Here's Hardaway, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
The Knicks shooting their first foul shots of the night here. That free throw good from Hardaway. Brent, for the Knicks, they go after big names to try and get a super team together. But unfortunately, they've been getting players on the downside of their career.
I think that's the head-scratching part of all this, Kevin, is that this is New York City, often referred to as the Mecca of basketball, yet free agents have avoided New York. They have not wanted to come and take on the pressure of helping to rebuild the franchise. And many of these issues stem from a disconnect between management and what's going on the floor.
Here's Ntilikina after Rajon Rondo's bucket. To the middle. Got a piece of it. Anthony kicks to Porzingis over Davis. And the Knicks miss again.
And that's really just not heads-up basketball. Don't try a fadeaway when nobody's guarding you.
It's good.
Running it down their throats. 3 straight baskets there in transition.
Anthony Davis, the first overall pick of the 2012 NBA draft. This guy just gives you superstar production from the outset of his career. Just started dominating the league. So you think about when he's not getting double and triple teamed as the roster builds around him, what kind of MVP numbers potentially he'll be putting up for years to come.
It's good from long range.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Pass to Ntilikina. Outside, Porzingis looking for Anthony and gets it there. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Cousins has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And for Davis, he might have won an MVP trophy already if he had more talent around him.
Yeah, that's just something, Kevin, he flat out cannot control. You think about his first 5 seasons so far in New Orleans, a lot of change, a lot of turmoil, a lot of different guys pulling on that jersey. It'll be fascinating to see if at some point they can get solid around Anthony Davis, who we know is an MVP caliber player.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Yeah, tonight his shot's been a bit off, but still, they lead the game. Yeah, a bit frigid to begin this one. Just can't make anything to get the game started.
Unable to get that one. And New York the other way now. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
New York, no good that time either.
The human aspect of basketball. You cannot fault the shot selection. He had a clean look. You just can't make them all.
And he uses the glass on the layup. Davis has got 12.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. Some changes for New Orleans. Miller's checked in for Solomon Hill. Allen comes in for Drew Holiday. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo. And then for New York, Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Hernan Gomez. Lee comes in for Hardaway. And it's Baker in for Ntilikina. Joakim Noah is checked in for New York. Kuzminskis comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Here's Kuzminskis. And again, unable to change momentum here. Miller outside. And that one falls, coming off of Davis's feed. Miller's got his first points of the night.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth, physical basketball, guys.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. And we have so many great spot-up shooters in this league, but from what you've seen, who are some of the best shooters off the dribble?
First guy I think about, Kevin, is Kevin. It's Durant, though, not you. I know you were a great shooter.
I was a good shooter.
But Kevin Durant's efficiency after transferring over from OKC to Golden State, it's really remarkable how much he's learned to play without the basketball, yet still having a career-efficient year. Him off the dribble is dangerous for anybody.
A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Pelicans.
And a shot they haven't been looking for very much is that corner 3. And when they have, D's been quick to kind of close out and deny it, and they've had to get their points from elsewhere.
And it's the Knicks with the ball. It's a 10-point game. Miller with the double team. Knocks it loose. Here's Baker. And a wide open look for Lee. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. Miller, the pass to Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Yeah, you can credit the play calling. Nothing really fancy, just imposing their will on the inside.
And the Knicks with possession here, following the score by New Orleans. Allen outside, over Lee. Allen's shot is off. Knicks trail by 12. Here's Kuzminskis. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. To the right side. Just 5 on the clock. Beyond the arc. Bangs home the trifecta.
That screen made it impossible for the defense to put up any kind of fight.
Clark kicks to Miller. The Knicks pull it in.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes everything can go right, but the shot doesn't go down. Nothing there is automatic.
Noah against Davis. Noah's shot is off. New Orleans leading by 9. Here's Allen. Doesn't go for him. Good D by Lee.
You can't miss those kind of looks. The defense seems to be a little nonplussed so far in this one, but he flat out missed it.
Kuzminskis kicks it to Noah. Here's Miller, and it's Miller with the jam.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
Here's Baker following the score by New Orleans. Here's Kuzminskis. Good, and a nice assist from Noah. Kuzminskis has got his second bucket tonight.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters. And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
Jordan Crawford's checked in for Allen. Baker kicks to Lee. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
He's got no problem shooting off the pass, trusting his teammates will get it to him.
That doesn't go either for Davis. Knicks trail by 5. Dishes it to Clark. Over Baker. Another shot. And Davis puts it in. Davis has got 14 points.
Just a phenomenal crash from Anthony Davis on the boards there. He comes up with the rebound and gets an easy putback.
And so it's New Orleans heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Such a great way to get yourself into an offensive groove and build up some early confidence.
Pelicans leading by 7.
And the Pelicans might have the most formidable front court tandem in the NBA. DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. Some calling them Fire and Ice. Gee, I wonder who Fire is.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. Noah is out there with Kyle O'Quinn. Then it's Lee, and it's Kuzminskis in at the 3.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
And he gets the bucket. He's got 10. And the Pelicans, Brent, had flirted with small ball. How's the fit between Cousins and Davis?
Well, it does help out that both of these guys are so talented and capable of shooting the basketball as big men. But I think AD plays better off the ball and not really force-feeding him. DeMarcus is just the opposite. He's got to have the ball in his hands to make plays. So we'll see how they end up working this thing out. They could still use some perimeter shooting because of the attention that these two big guys are going to draw on a nightly basis.
Hey, Brent, you made the NBA playoffs in your second year. Talk about the mental preparation that goes into one's first postseason as a player.
I think it's always a special time, Kevin, just because of the unknown factor. And at that time, it was the Clippers, my second season, a team that was very young and inexperienced. And so it was all fresh and new. And the biggest challenge for any coach in that sort of predicament is to make sure that players are on task and focused. We certainly were not. The Utah Jazz took care of us, and that's because of one John Stockton and Karl Malone.
And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And here's the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's top shot blockers from last season. Anthony Davis is second. And, of course, Porzingis.
And when either of those guys are on the floor, that low post defense is immediately something their teammates don't have to worry about. That's a very comforting feeling.
And the Knicks with possession here, following the miss by Anthony Davis.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one. His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Baker kicks to O'Quinn. Can they get it? New York, no good that time either.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
When Anthony Davis came into the NBA, you started to think about how he could dominate on the post, but it's really the growth in him as a shooter to stretch it out, shoot three-point shots that really has opened up some eyes.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Hill's checked in. And Davis changed his whole shooting form in New Orleans. He used to shoot from his chest. It blocked his view of the basket.
That's never a good thing. That's your target. So shifting it over on the right side, more towards the shoulder, raising up so that he's got a more clear shooting window. That takes a lot of diligent work, Kevin, and a lot of players try their whole career to fix a shot that's failed. I think AD has done a good job of not only committing to it, but finding success with the new form.
Drew Holiday's checked in for the Pelicans. New York calls timeout. Anthony Davis really making a difference here.
And the defense has not provided any threat to stop him out there, so it should come to no surprise that he continues to attack the basket.
And with Drew Holiday's size, Brent, are you surprised he's not more of a slashing point guard?
Well, it's interesting, Kevin, because the percentage of field goal attempts for Drew Holiday last year from 0 to 3 feet was around 30%. So he actually had the most field goals around the rim that he's ever had in any season.
Chance here to see the numbers for Davis. Great showing for him last season. He was around 28 points a game, 11 rebounds, and just over 2 blocks. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
Synergy, all elements right now working together, and the game is coming so easy right now.
And that one's good, Anthony.
Can't allow that much separation, even as the pass is coming his way. Try and crowd Carmelo as best you can.
The dish to Hardaway. Off target with his 3. Pelicans leading by 15. Lets it fly from 18. No good from Moore.
And the defense is just not very aggressive. Definitely fortunate that the mid-range jumper did not find the bottom of the net that time. This is the kind of guy that you wake up in a cold sweat the night before you play him. Just a matchup nightmare. Tricky, confident, and he takes on all comers.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Here's Ntilikina. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Porzingis can't hit. For New Orleans, they've gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second. 5 of 10. Hill, no good. Knicks trail by 13. Tries a 3. Unable to get that one. Well, for New Orleans, shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. And here's Moore outside. Here's Davis. Ntilikina with the rebound. Ntilikina's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Knocked loose. And now the fast break. Hill with the ball. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Now Hill's smart about taking quality shots. He can play either forward position. It's a nice bit of versatility for a coaching staff.
Well, we don't have a chalkboard here to draw it up, but if you could explain it, what's your favorite inbounds play when you really need a bucket?
All right, Kevin, so the guy goes to the right. He comes off the down pick, and then on the backside, you run the hammer, and you dribble to the right side. You throw along the baseline, but you're looking for the 4-man on the slip, and also the 5-man's popping back for the jump shot. Got it?
I got it. I like the run the hammer. Run the hammer.
The defense looked lost there. Get out your compass. No excuses. You got to guard the perimeter.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Tremendous focus with the bigger guy all over him. It speaks to the toughness he has down there.
Porzingis can't hit.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. Allen's checked in for the Pelicans.
Tony Allen.
Knicks trail by 14. Holiday brings the double team. Hardaway from outside. New York keeps it going, a new 24-second clock. Some nice passing by New York here. Yep, it counts. Gomez has got his third bucket of the night.
Well, beating everybody to the ball, Willie doesn't always get his number called, so he's got to put in the extra work and find these efforts on the offensive glass.
And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going for Davis.
Well, when you have a whole team that is locked in, this is what your shot chart looks like. They are moving the ball well and taking shots with confidence. When this team comes out and is knocking it down from all over like they are right now, they are one of the toughest in the league to beat.
New York calls timeout.
And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. Fourth, Anthony Davis.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long.
And it's the Knicks with the ball. They trail by 14. Andrew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
Here's Ntilikina following the basket by Anthony Davis. And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That's his third foul of the game. New Orleans making a switch here. Clark's checked in. Outside, Porzingis. Outside, Anthony. Here's the screen. Clock at 6. They get the rebound. Gomez, no good. New Orleans leading by 16. It's Allen with the drive. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got his 5th assist in this one.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Love their strategy, and they've been able to execute on it, building a huge lead.
Here's Allen, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Porzingis.
And Allen, just an incredible defender, has a grit and grind mentality and uses his speed and strong hands to just annoy offensive players.
DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Anthony Davis. And last season, Carmelo Anthony playing a good part of the year while hearing his name floated around in trade talks. Brent responded with some big games after the rumors started flying. But it couldn't have been a fun experience for him.
Well, I think Carmelo has just gotten used to living in that kind of environment, especially in New York. And his job is to go out and play basketball. He doesn't like to talk about it all that much. Well, the New York Knicks franchise has struggled the past couple years. And if Carmelo Anthony is a player that's past his prime and it's something they could do to move on from him, you wonder if they'll pull the trigger. He sunk that 3 in the first, but yet to make another one.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
A minute 50 left in the first half. Pelicans pull it in. Cousins has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Hill has the open look. The Knicks pull it in. Hardaway has got his third rebound tonight. It's stolen by Allen. And New Orleans pushing it up now. Kept alive. Here's Clark. Good on the short little jump shot. Clark's got his first basket of the night.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And the pass to Porzingis. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And watching Porzingis play, you forget how tall he really is in terms of how he moves. Not only how quick he is, but also that skill set. Incredible that a player his size won the skills competition in last year's All-Star festivities.
New Orleans making a switch here. Miller's checked in. So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Kuzminskis comes in for Anthony. Lee's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Baker in for Ntilikina. Miller with the double team. Kuzminskis, no good on the 3. And that is what fools a lot of NBA fans about Porzingis. Most of the highlights, Greg, you see are his blocks and putback dunks. But if you watch his game, you see that skill level.
It's rare to see a player who's the complete package like Porzingis. I mean, he's fluid. He's got the easy-looking shot. It almost looks like he's a guard shooting the basketball, comfortable creating for himself or playing off others.
Well, I like Porzingis there. Could not have taken it by himself, but still has a hand in the hoop.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
And New York making a change here. Noah's checked in. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And just a much better job of attacking and getting to the line here in the second quarter. Didn't have a single attempt in the first.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession. Here's Baker. Now Lee, and the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
Trying to cut into this lead. Bad time for a miscue.
Yeah, they may have some ants in the pants right here. You just have to take what the defense gives you.
Here's Cousins, and O'Quinn sends it back.
Good reach by O'Quinn, getting to the shooter and reading when he was releasing it.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans in very good shape with a 23-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, you're leading at the half. What will you continue to emphasize to your team?
Well, I mean, defensively, we still have to be good. We got to rebound the basketball. And then we've got to continue to push the basketball and score offensively.
We'll see if you can keep that going in the second half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. A tremendous game we're seeing from Anthony Davis. He had 21 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists. He's been playing extremely well lately and making some new highlights for us already in this one. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
Well, they killed it on the glass, and they did it with high-level fundamentals, blocking out, maintaining position, and going up strong to the basket. If they board like that in the second half, this lead will continue to grow.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
The first thing to say is, what's up with the turnovers? Jeez. You can live with some missed shots and stuff like that, but you can't keep turning the ball over. It's crushing for a team. It just saps all your confidence when you play a half like that, Ernie. Ugh.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
As we return to New Orleans, a look at some of the buildings along the riverfront here in the Big Easy. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
And how about that? Already through 2 quarters and some change, he's got a double-double.
Well, it's an impressive performance thus far, but it goes beyond just his ability. Right now, he's just simply outworking the opponent.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, anything can happen. Pelicans leading by 23. The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Hill in at the 3 slot. That's the Pelicans 5. And what was a wild ride of an offseason for the Knicks ultimately results in a regime change.
Yeah, players butting heads with executives, and when it came down to it, things just needed to change. If the Knicks picked the Zen Master over Porzingis, fans might have rioted in New York City, and hopefully the franchise can kind of start to right the ship. Bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yep, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Guys, he can get this shot anytime he wants.
Now, you bet. With his height, not many defenders are going to challenge that mid-range jump shot. They look frustrated, 0 for 3. Not how you want to start the third quarter.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Hill. Here's Ntilikina. He's covered by Rondo. And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That's his first foul. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. It's stolen by Hill.
How about the reaction time on that pass? Quick. And what good work there to get in the way of it.
Well, they missed their first 3 shots, and after that maybe they'll get some air underneath their wings a little bit.
It's stolen by Rondo. On the mark with the 15-footer. Rondo's got 6 points.
And, he's proven to be capable at sinking that mid-range jump shot. Rondo has to be respected from that part of the floor.
Here's Porzingis. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. 12 points for Porzingis. And that one's good. Cousins.
They are just killing them on the interior.
The Knicks have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Right side, Porzingis. And Cousins comes over to help. On the wing, Hardaway. Good on the 3-point shot. He's got 8.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for a better start to the second half, minus that 1 miss. 3 of 4 now from the field right now in the second half.
Cousins, no good. New York's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Ntilikina. He's covered by Rondo. And Cousins comes over to help. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for the Knicks.
And looking at this shot chart, you can't help but feel that this entire team has played passively on offense. That there has been little to nothing going on at the rim or in the paint for that matter. And when you don't attack the defense and put pressure on them down low, you're making life far too easy on them. In the mid-range, rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those 2 anchors on the front line.
Morris checked in for Hill.
And checking out the numbers for Drew Holiday. A very nice season for him last year. He put up about 15 points a game last season, 7 assists and 4 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
Something in the coach's playbook here where the schemes fire on all cylinders. When he is in the game, a great conduit for them offensively. He knows where everyone is at all times.
Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area. And every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
Now it appears an injury out on the floor, and that does not look like any fun.
And that's the one thing you just really can't control or even guard against, and that's injury.
Yep, you can do all the stretching and all the strength training, eat right, train right, but at the end of the day, it's pretty random.
And Davis puts it in.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Inside, and the dunk by Porzingis.
I tell you, Ntilikina has his head on a swivel, always looking to find the open teammate.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
And here's Porzingis for a three. That doesn't go either for Porzingis.
Well, he got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success. So good at picking his spots. He always knows exactly what the team needs from him offensively. That's why they hold the lead.
Tipped away. Here's Davis. Good D by Hardaway.
Well, the D did their job there. Excellent contest to alter the close ranger.
Here's Crawford, not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Crawford's got 4 this quarter.
A lot of people feel like Moore has natural point guard ability, so I like to see him find the open man.
Anthony drawing the double team. Out to the right wing. Pass to Ntilikina. His three-pointers off the mark. Here's New Orleans. Big stretch here going 10-2.
E'Twaun Moore out of Purdue, the 45th pick in the 2011 draft. Really pretty much a 3-and-D combo guy and has some versatility even to guard the point guards.
And so it's New York with it, following the score by New Orleans. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
And Ntilikina, he possesses that unselfishness that really allows his guys to play their best basketball. You got to love his approach.
Darius Miller, he's checked in for the Pelicans. So New York going with almost an entire new group. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Kuzminskis comes in for Porzingis. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Baker in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Here's Baker, following the basket by Anthony Davis. It's stolen by Davis. The finish, and it's slammed in by Davis.
Well, you know his defensive instincts just keep getting better and better. Swiped that ball and took it mostly uncontested all the way down the floor.
Passes it to Kuzminskis. Davis with the double team. Poked loose, out of bounds. New Orleans will take possession. And now, here's the 2K leaderboard with the teams that last season scored the most second-chance points in the NBA. In third, the Knicks.
That's an effort stat for me. I mean, it shows you how hard this team works in the paint. They continue to pound the backboard.
Clark, he's checked in for New Orleans. And a switcher also for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Ntilikina. Second shot opportunity, and the basket by Hill.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Baker kicks to O'Quinn. Here's Kuzminskis. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
That's just poor shooting right now from him, and I'm not sure why he's even attempting those kind of shots. This is a terrible start for him, and it has to be weighing on him.
Got a piece of it. Pass to Baker. Lee outside. Picked by O'Quinn. Puts up a 3, and Kuzminskis gets it to go. Kuzminskis has got 12 points in the game.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Yeah, no question. It looks like they've rented out room along the perimeter in this ball game, and they're likely to keep doing this until the defense makes an adjustment.
Here's Baker. Not really his range, and it's off target. The Pelicans shooting almost 60% from the field here in the third. They are really feeling it. And again, New Orleans has no luck. For New York, they've gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Kuzminskis the pass to Noah, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Hill kicks to Miller, and it's Miller with the jam.
And watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim. New York shooting the ball at 46% success rate since the beginning of the third quarter. Here's O'Quinn. Hill pulls it in. Hill's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. The putback, it's good on the putback.
Sensational putback slam from AD there. No one bodies him up, and because of that, he's free to dunk.
And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Some changes for New Orleans. Allen comes in for Solomon Hill. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Ejuan Moore. Davis with the double team. 1:12 left in the third.
And that's 5. One more, and he'll be disqualified. Got to be more careful.
The Knicks shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws, so those are numbers you'll be happy with.
And one strength, Greg, that this Knicks team has enjoyed the last couple of years has been their ability to win the rebounding game.
And that's back-to-back seasons, Kevin, in the top 10 for rebounding in terms of the Knicks. And it was something they wanted to improve upon starting a few years ago. They've changed their rebounding trouble into a big asset moving forward.
Here's Baker. And there's the pass to Kuzminskis. New York, no good that time either.
Man, that's a clean shot, too. You got to sink those. He must be disappointed that he blew that chance.
New York shooting 34% from the field. That's not going to get it done. For 3, Miller grabs the miss. The Pelicans shooting straight 49% from the field. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Brett, you went up against Hornacek as a player and even defended him a couple times. What was it like playing against Hornacek, the player?
Well, I want you to ask Jeff Hornacek if I defended him, because I thought I did a good job, and sometimes the box score didn't reveal it. But what a tremendous shooter, a great off-ball mover, certainly in that system with John Stockton. And if there was any room, Kevin, that I gave Jeff Hornacek, and trust me, there was plenty of times I did that, he was knocking down jump shots. One of the most efficient players in Jazz history. A lot of people feel that for the Pelicans, Anthony Davis is best at scoring off the assists, so player movement and ball movement. They love to create a free-flowing offensive style to help complement that part of his game.
Lee, that's good.
That's still something that Noah does very well. Seeing the floor, keeping his head up. Play with your head on a swivel. Noah does that.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Here's Kuzminskis. He's covered by Rondo. Ball's knocked loose. 1 second left. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him.
Lee, a very consistent defender at the guard position, taking some pride in annoying the shooter that time.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. New Orleans on top, delivering the blowout. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And a moment ago, inside the huddle with head coach Alvin Gentry.
Hey, let's keep it up, guys. Just keep running, though. We can get out in the open court and run all we want, all right?
Alvin Gentry satisfied with some of what he's seeing, but would like his guys to pick up the pace.
And there have been some opportunities in transition that they have yet to capitalize on. It may have cost them some points.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And on the floor for New York here in the fourth. Baker out there with Randall. Then there's Noah. Then it's Thomas. And it's O'Quinn in at the 4 spot.
Well, the inside area of the floor is where Ashik is most comfortable shooting from, and that's exactly where his teammate got him the ball.
Randall kicks it to Noah. New York moving it around. With the premium placed on outside shooting, Brent, plus defensive rules that lessen the need to defend in isolation, will we see guys playing for more years than ever before? Less wear and tear because there's less of it inside in games.
No, it's a great point, Kevin. I think that you're right about that. I also think that whatever we're doing off the court in terms of the players with nutrition and training regimen, that's going to be another reason why we'll see players be very effective well into their late 30s and sometimes into their early 40s, which is about my limit, Kev. I'm still effective at 45.
You are. Very effective at 45. Thomas, that's good.
Nice job. Coming off the screen, Thomas has some options, and that time, wisely, takes it himself.
New York's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. And pushing it up, here's New Orleans. Cunningham's shot is off.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Now, here's O'Quinn. Here's Thomas. O'Quinn, great positioning on the putback.
Well, O'Quinn knows he's not going to be playing a ton of minutes in this game, so he's going to throw himself around in every position. Good job on the glass there.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Randall dishes to O'Quinn. Kicks to Noah. Feeds to O'Quinn. Here's Randall. But he recovers it. Pass to Baker. Back to Randall. He kicks to O'Quinn. If you ever did decide to go into coaching, Brent, would you also like to be the general manager to ensure you have the players you really want to coach?
Well, I'd also like a new car and a Learjet, Kevin. If I could get those two, I'll try my best. But
I hear you. I know.
I really think that relegating that role to somebody else that you can be on the same page with is the best way to go. It's a fresh set of eyes.
That's the key. I totally agree.
Fresh set of eyes, and they have the time to devote to what your team and your roster is going to need while you make sure you're developing the roster yourself. So I think having a general manager do his job and a coach do his job might be the way that I would prefer to do things, although we've seen other guys have success in both roles.
Ashik with the bucket.
And when you don't box out a 7-foot player like Ashik, you deserve to get beat. He tracks down that offensive rebound and puts it right in.
Now here's Randall. Now the feed to Thomas. Double team on Thomas. Beasley with a clean look. No good on the triple.
Well, even though he missed, you like seeing him taking that kind of shot. The defense must be better.
Offensive rebound. Cunningham. No good with the layup.
Now, those are the kind of shots you like him taking. Even though he missed it, the offense will take those.
Thomas passes to Beasley. And the Knicks miss again. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
That's really a wise shot given the spacing. Cunningham prides himself in knocking those down.
Here's Baker. The Pelicans make their last shot. Bangs home the trifecta. Ashik with it. Now Thomas defending. Ashik no good. So it's the Knicks now. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Noah kicks to Beasley. Whistle blows. If that's going to be a travel.
Yeah, they're starting to go in the wrong direction in terms of turnovers. It's slowly becoming a problem.
Some changes for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Ashik. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Miller. And that's a foul called an Alexis Ajinça. That is his first foul of the game. New York shooting a pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late. Here's Baker. He feeds it to Noah. Here's Beasley. Good, and a nice assist from Noah.
Like seeing Noah pass the ball. We know he can do that. Always has his head up.
Near the three-point line, it's Moore. It's rebounded by New York.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yep, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Yeah, and making them. Once you get into this kind of rhythm with the 3-ball, it is so difficult for the defense to do anything about it.
Randall kicks to Beasley. Double team on Thomas. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thomas.
And this is where you have to sharpen up your passing. That's a careless turnover.
So for the Knicks, Kuzminskis, he's checked in for Thomas. And it's Lee in for Randall. Allen's shot is off.
He's been a little bit disappointing in this game. However, his team has his back. They need a little bit more help from him.
And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. Moore against Beasley. Here's Kuzminskis. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Allen's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Cunningham gets the bucket.
And at full speed, he still has the wherewithal to get himself in good position.
Yeah, the snap decisions right there, reading the situation on the move and then making the right choice.
And the basket is good.
Solid distribution from Lee, reading the court well and getting the pass over.
Cunningham's shot is off.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
Hey, Brent, when you look at the All-Star balloting, it's amazing how many worthy point guards have to be left off the roster. How'd the league end up with so many great players at that position all at once? It's an amazing story.
It has been an incredible crop. I mean, really the golden era of point guards. And the one guy who I feel really badly for over the course certainly of the last 5 or 6 seasons is one Mike Conley. Any coach in the league would take Mike Conley at the drop of a hat, yet he's dealing with, over the course of his career, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Tony Parker, Steve Nash, Chauncey Billups, Chris Paul. Should I go on, Kevin? It is a very, very tough position.
Those names, it says it all. The Knicks making a switch here. O'Quinn's checked in. Cunningham dishes to Ajinça. Over O'Quinn. That misses off the backboard. New York's gone over and over to the 3-point shot in the 4th quarter. 4 of 9. Lee kicks to Baker. Lee a screen on Crawford. New York moving the ball around. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
And Lee has shot in the high 30s in terms of his percentage throughout his career from deep. He's left uncovered. He can knock it down.
Now here's Beasley. Lee left side. O'Quinn the pass to Baker. Beasley the screen. Poked away. 4 on the shot clock. O'Quinn dishes to Lee. They get it again. Here's Kuzminskis and the rejection by Ajinça.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Pelicans.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Anthony Davis.
Just a force on the glass, did a fantastic job crashing the boards and coming up with seemingly every rebound.
And they pick up 2.
And that is one thing he does very well. His intensity on the glass helps lead to these high percentage putbacks for his team.
And he gets it to go.
And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
And you could just see everything coming together like a perfect storm, and they just rolled on through.
There's 38 seconds left in the game. Miller with the double team. Beasley kicks it to Noah. And the rejection by Ajinça. More in the corner. The three. It's rebounded by New York, and that's an intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Started.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. Guys, what's your take?
And now that you can tell there's some bad blood here. They're just rubbing it in now by calling a timeout.
Or could be just wanting to execute well down the stretch. Don't want to leave any room for chance.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Now the Knicks with it. Pick by O'Quinn. Here's Baker. Out to Lee. Passes it to Baker. Dishes it to Randall. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Tony. Great win for you guys. What got you guys to the W tonight?
Just blame it all on the shoot-around, blame it all on the film today. We got back to the things we do defensively, and all the guys bought in defensively, and it was a great carryover from 1 through 15.
Grit and grind as usual, Tony. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.